Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're talking about theme park photography tips and tricks. Let's go. Right, so tip number one is going to be zoom as much as you can. With these theme parks, we're limited to the pathways that we are allowed to walk on. So we have to zoom as much as we can or get as close to these coasters as possible from the footpaths that we're allowed to stand on. Often we can get quite close to coasters such as the Smiler, but most of the time we're going to have to deal with the pathways, which can often be quite far away, if a safe distance from the rides. I'm not saying use the lens that I tend to use. This is my lens that I tend to use in the theme parks, and this is definitely overkill. I just like to have that range if ever I need it, but for 90% of the photos I take, I will never go to 600mm, which is this lens's full zoom range. You could take amazing photos at probably 200 or 300mm. The main thing you want to do with your photos is to make the image something that people have never seen before of that ride. Wide angle photos are totally fine, and they're often quite nice to show a whole area, but you want to zoom in to show people an angle of the ride that they've never seen before. And often that's really well done by taking the viewer right in up close to a roller coaster and be as close to it as possible, because that's a unique angle. People don't often get to see rides from that close distance. And with that point number two is definitely try and look for new angles. What does really well is sharing angles that people have never seen before. You want people to scroll and see your image and think, wow, I've never seen that ride from that angle before. You want to take a photo that will put your mark on that photo as being your angle. And when people see that ride that they've always seen before but never seen it from that particular angle, then people will be like, wow, I've never seen that before. I've seen that ride before, but I've never seen it quite like that. And that's the reaction you're trying to get. Point number three, look for good reactions. Riders on the roller coaster, the people actually in your photo and sitting in the seats on the roller coaster, they're half of the photo. They're showing the emotion and the reaction to the ride as it's going past you. Obviously, you can't tell until after you've taken the photo because it will whiz past. But look at the photo after you've taken it and see what people's facial reactions are. If they're looking scared, or it's great to look scared or happy or screaming, because that's exactly what the ride is designed to emote. And if you're getting that across in your photo, then it's going to be a pretty good photo. Tip number four is something that you cannot control, and to get right may often take a few visits to the same theme park. But it's just one of those things, and it's good weather. When you have a totally blue sky day and the sun is beaming down on a ride that you are photographing, your photos will come out absolutely stunning. Often when you photograph these rides, you want as much light as possible, because when you photograph a ride, you want your shutter speed up really high. And that's so you don't get any motion blur at all on your roller coaster as it passes you. And the higher you bump up that shutter speed, the less time the light will be revealed to your camera sensor. So a bright day with lots and lots of light coming into your camera sensor is going to be beneficial to you getting that ISO nice and low and being able to maybe even in editing lift those shadows. These theme parks are best enjoyed in sunny weather. You know, most promotional photos we see of theme parks will likely have blue sky because you want to picture the perfect day out. Right, and my fifth and final tip is going to be a pretty simple one, and it actually comes after you've taken your pictures. It's don't over edit. The best thing about being a creative is you get your own style. A lot of the time, you know, people might get to the editing software and they're such as Lightroom or Photoshop and want to bump up the clarity or the dehaze really high, which really sort of can transform your image, but you don't want to overdo it. The only tool I would normally bump up quite a lot is the shadows when I go into Lightroom. And what that does is it reveals parts of the image that, you know, often can come out quite dark, even in the brightest settings. The best bit about getting your photos into an editing software is playing around with the tools and getting the best sort of result that you want to get. Just don't over edit. Be gentle on the tools if you use them, is probably my advice. Those are just 5 tips and tricks really for theme park photography. There's probably loads more, and if you would like to see another video like this, please do like and subscribe, just because it shows me that you're interested in this sort of stuff. There are plenty of other theme park photographers out there that I totally advise going and looking at their Instagrams and Twitters, because they inspired me to do what I do, and hopefully they'll inspire you too. The likes of First Drop Photography and Attraction Images and Shutterbug Kingdom, they're all absolutely brilliant photographers, and some off the back of this have even called good friends of mine now. But that's it for this video. Hopefully you're staying safe and well during this bizarre time where we have to stay indoors. Hopefully we'll be back at the theme parks soon, but until then, stay safe, stay indoors, and I hope you're doing well. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.